Dirt Trax TV is sponsored by Polaris, think outside. Can-Am, follow your path. Yamaha's proven off-road side-by-sides and ATVs, realize your adventure. Team MSC, when you just gotta have the best. Honda Power Sports, power your dreams, whatever the terrain.
Well, we've taken our CFMOTO CFORCE 1000 Huntsman build a long ways from when we first received it, and what a beast that we have built. I can't wait personally to get this thing out on the trail. And with the help from our friends at TerraTech Off-Road, who worked hard at creating this build design, we've been able to take an incredibly good ATV and target its use towards ultimate hunting, without sacrificing its capabilities on the trail or around the property. This is still every bit as functional as a stock CFORCE. However, when looking at a week in the hunt camp, its productivity has been exponentially increased, with focused and specific products to help us make the hunt that much easier. Now that brings me back to something that's really important, and that is bringing that harvest back to camp. Now, yes, we know our hunting areas, and most of us have spent hours out walking around on the acreage that we hunt on. But if you're anything like me, there's been a time when you've been tracking an animal, you got your head down, and all of a sudden you lift it up and you go, oh no, I am way out in God's country. And to ensure that we know where we are, how we got there, and most importantly, how to get back, along with about 100 other amazing features and options, the Garmin Tread Overland Edition is an incredible piece of technology that opens up a world of possibilities. The Tread is an 8-inch glove-friendly, ultra-bright GPS display that is power sports focused, from your Jeep to your side-by-side or ATV and snowmobile. It's IP67 weather resistant and plugs in simply to your 12-volt adapter on our CFORCE for power. Now the Tread is so much more than just your standard GPS. You can actually download satellite imagery and have it right on the screen in front of you, so you can see everything in the real world around you. It also has built-in inReach technology. That means you can two-way text from your Tread through satellite, share your location, and even send out an SOS in an emergency situation. You can lock in those 1 in a million hunting spots to return next season, view a wide variety of sensor data like altimeter, barometer, compass, as well as pitch and roll, and do things like track your Garmin collar-equipped hunting dogs should they wander a little bit too far. And if you do hunt in a cellular serviced area, you can even see your friends on your map live with the group ride through the Tread app linked up. When you're using the app, you can even receive live weather, storm alerts, and even visual radar to see what's headed your way and if it's time to call it a day or push on through. And while that sounds like a lot, there's so much more that I haven't even scratched the surface on. But this is one tool that I know I'll be relying on come this fall. Now, secondly, we worked with Woodland Mills. They're a company who's well known for making incredible sawmills, wood chippers, and stump grinders, but they also have a very cool line of utility trailers. And guess what? They built a custom one for us. And that is what you see here. After explaining our situation and need for the ultimate off-road hunting trailer, the engineering staff from Woodland Mills were excited to help us make it happen. They even custom painted our trailer in black from their normal Woodland Mills green. Starting with the Pathfinder trailer that's able to carry 1,000 pounds or 21 cubic feet of cargo, we asked them to give us something next level. We needed to ensure that we could fit the 29-inch EFX tires and 14-inch MSA beadlock rims to match the CFMOTO. To accomplish this, they extended and lifted the axles to the Pathfinder, reinforcing the structure to make sure it was extra beefy for our off-road adventures and stable enough with the proper width. Up front, they added in one of their winch kits to help us tilt the trailer with ease and work smarter, not harder. They also included their pivoting off-road hitch system, standard on the Pathfinder trailers. And to top it all off, the trailer also came with the Woodland Mills chainsaw carrier, a very simple and sturdy pinch bar system that holds your saw securely and ensures no harm comes to the bar or the chain, because we never know what we're going to find after a summer of windstorms or a winter of heavy snow loads. And as you can see, we received this trailer just as you would receive it being shipped to your door, in a compact, easy-to-assemble package that builds up to a very impressive off-road capable trailering system. Now, while you may not see this exact kit on Woodland Mills' website, give them a call if you're looking for this same design. And finally, for today's build, we knew that while out hunting, we might be in for some long trips, some overnight stays, or even weeks at the hunt camp or cabin. And when you're building the ultimate rig, you gotta be ready for anything. I know that power on site is always handy, and well, to be honest, we've all become used to it. From the old guys at camp needing power for a CPAP machine to a good, strong brewed cup of coffee, or charging up the batteries in the cameras, a generator is a must-have. CFMOTO offers two beautifully designed units here in Canada, both with a full 5-year limited warranty. That's pretty incredible for a generator. I opted for the smaller i30 generator, which is a suitcase-sized 79cc air-cooled 4-stroke. It has a 5-liter fuel capacity and outputs up to 3 kilowatts of power. Because it's an inverter, it runs at an impressive 52 to 59 decibels, and it only weighs 50 pounds, full of fuel and oil. It does have an eco mode where it idles down and the engine saves fuel when not in demand, and obviously has a low oil alarm as well, and a fuel gauge, output indicator screen, and an overload alarm. You can power both 120 and 12-volt devices, and this impressive little compact generator comes in at only $11.99 Canadian. At that value, I knew I wanted to have this thing strapped into our Woodland Mills trailer. This will be getting a lot of use this hunt season, no matter where we go. And with that, our CFMOTO Huntsman build is complete. I'm so excited to get this thing out on the trail, so make sure you tune in next week because I'm gonna do just that and put it through its real-world paces.
This portion of Dirt Tracks TV has been brought to you by MBRP Performance Exhaust, built for the victory lap.
Today I've got a really interesting product to show you from a brand that I hadn't had prior to this year very much experience with. But after spending some time on their ATVs and side-by-sides from their 2025 lineup, I can tell you this is a very interesting company, and that brand is AODES. And for today's test ride, they sent me a brand spanking new WorkCross 1003 HVAC model, freshly dealer prepped from ProTech Power Sports and ready to hit the trail, the farm, or anything in between. And get this, AODES HVAC model is the lowest price, full-size 1000cc side-by-side with heat and AC on the market. And not just by a little bit. No, this one comes in anywhere from $3,500 to, wait for it, $11,500 cheaper than its competition in Canadian dollars. So what is the AODES WorkCross 1003 HVAC? Well, it's the exact same as the AODES WorkCross 1000, but this comes with heat, AC, and a fully glassed-in cab, and you can also get it in a 6-seat version if you're looking for more people-moving capabilities. At the heart of the WorkCross is the 976cc V-twin 4-stroke mill that's pushing out a respectable 71 horsepower as well as 62 pound-feet of torque via Delphi fuel injection. Yes, it is at the lower end of power in this category, but it feels great and it's able to still keep me very happy even when the AC compressor is working hard to cool me off on these hot days that we've been having. And let me tell you, the AC here may just be the strongest in the entire industry. The cab is fully glass enclosed, has a really nice headliner for soundproofing, and the doors are solid and sturdy. The windows also roll down for those days when you don't need AC and just want some fresh air. And when it comes to this model and its impressive price point at $26,532 Canadian dollars, the real kicker here, once you get over the fact that it's got heat, AC, and a fully glassed-in cab, is that that's not all that it comes with. There is so much more. The heat and AC are controlled by a simple-to-use rocker switch and aluminum dial-adjust rheostat with multiple fan speed settings. Inside the cab are 8 separate vents, and they all pump out an impressive amount of cold air, staying cool and comfortable or likewise warm in the winter. Now, on top of the obvious, you gotta see what else is included because even at this lowest price point in its category, AODES decides to give you everything you could possibly want, included at one price. No boxes to check. You've got real beadlock aluminum rims color matched in red, full aluminum piggyback shocks with 18-way adjustable compression and rebound clickers, a 32-inch light bar up on the roof, as well as a 3,500-pound winch, heavy-duty upgraded bumpers front and rear, as well as a set of side mirrors. And as if that wasn't enough, for the one low price, you also get a fully integrated, massive center screen that does everything from the built-in AM, FM, and Bluetooth stereo to, wait for it, Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I've been saying it for years that the industry needs to adopt Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and AODES is getting in on that ground level. And good for them, making our lives so much more enjoyable out on the trail. This is such a smart feature. So I know the begging question is, how does this thing actually handle out on the trail and around the farm when you're working it? So without further ado, let's just jump right in. The 71 horsepower V-twin feels very capable in any situation from low range hauling of firewood and utility tasks to getting out on the open trail and really having some fun. The 3-mode adjustable power steering lets you tune the output to your riding preference, and at low working speed in the highest setting really felt nice with a heavy load on off-camber corners where a non-EPS would be a real struggle. The 1,000-pound bed capacity is more than enough for the jobs you'll ask of it, as is the 2,500-pound towing capacity. And at 65 inches wide, it's got plenty of stance when you do load it up and need to traverse uneven terrain. Now, it's interesting to note that AODES has decided to work with CVTech, a Canadian clutch manufacturer, to provide a quality-built set of clutches and put all that power to the ground efficiently. Now, of course, the WorkCross in all of its forms comes in four-wheel drive, and it also features a locking front differential for those days that work or play gets a bit more aggressive. Now, I gotta tell you, I'm truly amazed by this WorkCross. The value here is undeniable. The performance is solid. The build quality feels great, and I'm doing this all in the refreshing coolness of an air-conditioned glass cab. Okay, so I'm impressed, but I'm also aware that I don't have years of experience with this brand and their durability over time. But what I can say, from what I see, getting behind, under, and inside as many of the components and compartments as I can, is that this is a solidly built side-by-side that hasn't just been thrown together with parts from random other products. And I'm very excited to see what other great products AODES will bring to the off-road market in the years to come. If you haven't had the chance to get behind the steering wheel or the handlebars of a new AODES ATV or side-by-side, do yourself a really big favor. Stop by your local dealership, have a look, because you're going to be super impressed with the value that this brand is able to deliver.
This portion of Dirt Trax TV has been brought to you by Suzuki. It's not a quad unless it's a king quad.
Last year, I had the opportunity to attend Kawasaki's North American dealer meeting and witness the unveiling of the all-new inline four-cylinder Ridge Utility Sport side-by-side. This machine truly rounded out Kawasaki's side-by-side lineup, bridging the gap between the steadfast mule and the performance-driven TRX. The event was exciting for more than just the Ridge, though. We also got a look at a groundbreaking pure sport side-by-side. As much as we love to see innovation and power, we hear what you're saying. Believe me, I read every single comment about how price tags keep climbing. We get it. There's no denying the excitement of a $40,000 plus high-performance side-by-side, but that price point just isn't realistic for every rider. Manufacturers know this too, and they'd be foolish to ignore the significant number of buyers that are passionate about off-road, but just can't justify spending that kind of money on a new rig. Interestingly enough, at that very same dealer meeting, Kawasaki rolled a new ATV model out onto the stage, a 450 class brute force. Fast forward to today and you've probably seen my test ride and my detailed overview of the all-new brute force 450. This little machine really makes me believe that manufacturers are finally listening to the rumblings in the market. Riders want value, dependability, and brand-backed quality, all at a more approachable price. Now, regardless of what some of you might think, there is a strong market for high horsepower, high-tech machines. If there wasn't, manufacturers wouldn't be investing so heavily in them. But at the same time, we're seeing a clear push towards mid-tier practical machines that get the job done without draining your wallet. And that's where the Brute Force 450 fits in. Like I mentioned in my test ride, this is a rebranded model, and Kawasaki isn't hiding that. They partnered with a world-renowned Taiwanese ATV manufacturer on this project. But Kawasaki didn't just slap new green plastics on it and call it a day. Kawasaki's had considerable input into the development of this machine and are handling final assembly, warranty, and distribution. And that's key to the success of this project. Some companies make similar partnerships and barely touch the ATV aside from putting new stickers on it. Kawasaki, on the other hand, has gone over this ATV with a fine-tooth comb. They added gussets and reinforcements to the frame for increased durability. They upgraded the steering post and knuckles, strengthened the rack mounting points for serious work utility, and modified the front suspension mounting geometry for better compliance. On top of that, the front and rear shocks, suspension components, and disc brakes are all genuine Kawasaki parts. That's a huge plus from a performance and reliability standpoint. They also improved heat shielding throughout the ATV and reinforced wiring harnesses to better withstand the wear and tear of everyday use. The intake system and CVT received modifications as well, offering better cooling and added protection from water intrusion. And let's not forget the aesthetics. This thing looks every bit like a brute force. The bodywork is all Kawasaki and carries that signature look that ties it to the rest of the family and gives it that premium feel even at this price point. Rebranding is nothing new in the off-road world. It allows manufacturers to expand their lineups without the massive research and development costs that come with building a brand new machine from scratch. The cost savings trickle down to the consumer, making it a win-win, and the dealers benefit by having a well-priced, reliable unit that they can offer without hesitation. Think of it like this: someone walks into a dealership set on purchasing or financing a KRX, but also needs something practical for hauling wood around their property or heading out to their hunt camp. the KRX probably isn't the right tool for that job, and it won't even fit on 50-inch wide trails. Or maybe Dad already owns a Brute Force 750 and wants his team to have something from the same family that's a bit more manageable, but still says Kawasaki on the side. Now, thanks to this 450, that dealer has the perfect option to offer. And because Kawasaki is handling the warranty, parts and service can all be taken care of right at that same dealership. That kind of support matters, and it strengthens brand loyalty and trust between riders and dealerships. Kawasaki's come to the table with an offering that fills a long-standing gap in its ATV lineup, and has done so in a way that honors the brand's reputation for quality and durability. For under $9,000 Canadian or $7,000 US, you get a serious piece of equipment featuring name brand tires, LED headlights, an LED light pod, a digital display, independent rear suspension, selectable four-wheel drive with diff lock, and a smooth shifting CVT powered by a 443cc fuel-injected single-cylinder engine that delivers linear, reliable power from bottom to top. The Brute Force 450 isn't about cutting corners to meet a price point. It's about thoughtful value, and it's a smart option for new riders, budget-conscious buyers, or anyone who wants a smaller machine that still carries big capability. Kawasaki is listening, and this little Brute Force is proof.
Dirt Trax TV has been sponsored by Yamaha, revs your heart. Honda, life is better on a Honda. ITP, innovation, traction, performance. Fast HD, roam fearlessly. Kawasaki, let the good times roll.
There's been so many times over the years that I've got my hands on a brand new vehicle and really wanted to love it, that I really hoped after all my testing was done, I was going to be impressed. And there have been more times than I'd like to admit where I have been very much let down. When our CFMOTO U10 Pro was dropped off, I had very high hopes. This was one I really wanted to love. CFMOTO has been on a mission for the past 5+ years to design and build ATVs and side-by-sides that aren't just competition in their respective classes, but that are so good they're giving the competition reasons to start sweating. Huge improvements in build quality, top-level performance specs, and high-end features are the three main reasons my hopes were so high for the U10 Pro. The model we're testing is the more basic open cab setup that actually competes with vehicles like Polaris's Ranger XP and Can-Am's Defender XT. So the most important question now is, of course, has the U10 Pro let me down, or have I been extremely impressed by it? And the very enthusiastic answer is that CFMOTO's 2025 U10 Pro has exceeded even my own optimism. For starters, its 998cc 3-cylinder power plant makes a claimed 88 horsepower that's filtered through two distinct drive modes into CFMOTO's new in-house designed OmniDrive CV transmission. 3-cylinder engines have always been known for their smooth linear power bands, but this one takes smoothness to a whole other level. The power characteristics of this setup in either drive mode, combined with what I consider to be near perfect CV clutch tuning, result in a utility side-by-side that engages and puts power to the ground smoother than any other side-by-side I've ever tested. For a utility vehicle, this is so important. You need to be able to creep over obstacles or accelerate smoothly when towing or hauling a heavy load or when on sensitive surfaces. With that said, 88 horsepower is no joke, and while power delivery down low is buttery smooth, mid-range and top end is very impressive. It is not at all hard to get the back end loose whenever you want to. The U10 Pro has a large cargo box that can haul up to 1,000 pounds. It has numerous tie-down points and a nice one-handed tailgate, which are all standard for its class. What's not standard is the included electronic dumping feature and bed-mounted 12-volt outlet. The dumping feature is something no other full-size utility side-by-side in this class offers at any trim level. Ride quality is very good loaded or unloaded. AA arms up front deliver 11 inches of travel, and AA arms out back deliver 10.2 inches of travel. All four corners are damped by a set of basic steel-bodied snail cam preload adjustable coilover shocks. Handling is also very good, at least as good as any of its competition. Power steering offers slightly higher than necessary assist, but it isn't something I'd complain about at all. And 14-inch aluminum wheels wrapped in 29-inch tires offer excellent traction and an aggressive look. One thing CFMOTO has always been known for is offering you more for your money than anybody else, and the U10 Pro takes this to another level. Its out-the-door price is thousands less than the competition. But you get a long list of included extras that the competition doesn't offer. For example, all vehicles in this class do come with a roof and a winch, but the U10 Pro includes front and rear windscreens. It comes with an 8-inch infotainment system in the dash, which includes speakers. It features premium seats, side mirrors, multiple 12-volt and USB outlets in the dash and cargo box. To round things out in Canada at least, it also comes with CFMOTO's 5-year limited warranty. To equip any other side-by-side in this class to this level would cost upwards of $5,000 more. Was there anything about the U10 Pro I didn't like? Very few things actually. First, while the seats look nice, the bolstering is essentially non-functional. I found my butt wanted to slide off the seats when cornering hard. The windshield doesn't tip out and doesn't have a wiper, so when it's dirty, you have to clean it or you can't see. There is no under-seat storage and very little in-dash storage, and both were very much missed during testing. Other than those few things, I liked everything else about CFMOTO's 2025 U10 Pro. In fact, this is the first CFMOTO utility side-by-side I've ever tested that I actually would pick above some of its main competition. The quality is top-notch. The features are almost unbelievable. Performance, ride quality, and handling are all excellent, and it costs thousands less than anything else in the class. If it was my money, I'd be hard-pressed to want to spend it anywhere else.
Make sure to subscribe and comment below for real interaction with the Dirt Trax crew.